Oh hey, I'm Tia Sos and this is another episode of Daily Tea. Thank you for watching. Really quick, something to just think about. What if the advent of chemical fertilizers, chemicals, etc. that are used in agriculture are only a thing that was discovered or introduced about 50 years ago? Then how can we call the tea that is produced contemporarily with that with those chemicals? How can we call that tea tradition? And how can we call the tea that has gained a certain flavor? In this case I'm talking about umami, which is the Japanese savory flavor. It has a little bit of salty, sweet mouthfeel. How can we call the tea that has that kind of flavor traditional, when it is a flavor that is actually induced and enlarged by those chemical fertilizers, by using fertilizers that enhance the working and the function of traditional fertilizers? In Japan, contemporarily, we look at teas that are favored and called traditional, with high amounts of amino acids and a strong umami flavor. And those teas are referred as traditional. Whereas, from certain sources I have gathered that the interest in that umami flavor is only something that started about like 30 years ago. So that's a while after those unnatural chemical fertilizers and products have come in use. Isn't that strange? So come to think of it, traditional tea is tea that is produced traditionally, that is through methods that are or that were used way back. But now we're calling tea with a flavor that has been induced by new methods traditional, and I think that is where we're going wrong. And that is why I think that, and why I believe that organically or naturally produced teas are way more traditional and way less contemporary types of tea than we might think. But going back to receiving from nature what it has to give and not making nature do things or grant us things that are not necessarily there inherently. So that is why I go back to organic teas, naturally produced teas, to teas that can give us what nature and what the tea bush has to give, and to go back to that traditional flavor that tea used to have.